Hey everyone, this is Jason. We're going to look at how to graph some logarithmic functions, and then we're going to look at how to find domain, range, asymptotes, intercepts, all that good stuff. And what we're going to use is we're going to use Desmos graphing calculator. So go to desmos.com/calculator. Should bring up the graphing calculator. You can do a Google search. Just pick the one that says graphing. So first we got to figure out how to enter this into the calculator. It doesn't come with a log function. So if you just type log, it's going to be log base 10, but we want log base 3. So we're going to have to come down here. Let me delete that first. So we're going to have to come down here. We're going to have to find a function, and then you're going to scroll down until you find the log function. And you see right there, log base A, pop it up, and it's going to give you the option. So this will be log base 3. And then it's in parentheses, it's just the X. Now there are two different problems. I wanted to show you both of these so you can see that they are different. And so that's X minus 4. And so that's the graph. I'm going to pull this over so we can see the whole thing. So domain and range. Let's start with the domain. Well, it looks like X can be anything up to 0 because it doesn't go past 0 on the X-axis. So our domain is going to be X is greater than or equal to 0, or we can say from negative, or excuse me, not negative. We want to go from 0, and we'll bracket that 0 to infinity. And so that's the domain. What about the range? Well, the range, let's see, the range, it looks like, keeps going in the negative direction. Remember, the range is the y value, so it keeps going in the negative direction. It looks like it keeps going in the positive direction. Once it passes the axis, so that keeps going forever. So our range, get back to the beginning, our range will be all real. Or you could say negative infinity to infinity, however you want to write it. Asymptotes. Now the asymptotes are that place, that line where the graph never crosses. In this case, it never crosses the y-axis. Well, what's the equation for the y-axis? That's x equals 0. And then the intercept, there's one intercept, and it's going to be where the line crosses the x-axis. If we keep going, we can find it somewhere right in there, or we can just follow the line till we get to 0, which is right there at 81, 0. And so our intercepts will have 81, 0, and there is no y-intercept because it never crosses that y-axis. So that's basically all you got to do. And then to include the graph, what you're going to do for these is you're going to just take a quick screenshot of this. I have a program that does that for me. So I just hit Control Print Screen, and then I can take a picture of what I want to take a graph of. That's sufficient. And then you just pop that graph right into your submission. And then that'll be all you need to do. So type all this out and then give me a link or whatever you need to do to get that into your submission. All right, so let's look at one more just so you can see the difference. So we're going to clear this out and pretend like I can't just fix that. So again, log base 3. This time the x minus 4 is in parentheses. So for this one, same thing. I had to find my log function with a base. So I'm going to go to the functions. I'm going to scroll down till I find logs, which is right there. This will be log base 3 again. And then in parentheses is x minus 4. So there is the graph. Close that parenthesis. Now let's look at what we got here. So what's the domain? Well, it looks like the domain looks like my x's. I'm not going to be able to go past this point right here because it doesn't cross over that. So what is that number right there? That is 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't cross 4. You can get that by setting this equal to 0. So my domain will be four to infinity. Okay, range. Again, just like the last one, it looks like it continuously goes in the negative direction, continuously goes in the positive direction. So my range will be all reals, infinity, negative infinity to infinity. The asymptote, again, that's the line that never crosses. That's this line right here. And I'm going to actually type it in this time so you can see it. If I type in x equals 4, not 3, see, that's the line that never crosses. So that's going to be my equation. So I'm going to write that in. X equals 4. Y-intercept. So again, the y-intercept, it crosses right there at 5, 0. So you can just kind of on Desmos, you can trace the line until you find the intercept. Makes it easy. So right there at 5, 0 is the intercept. There is no y-intercept. So we have y-intercept at 5, 0. And then simply just take a screenshot of the graph so I can see what you did. You see I included the equation. That way I know you're putting in the right equation. And then you can just screenshot that in there, drop it in however you need to do it. This is the program I use. It's not going to drop. It's in the way, so I'm not going to mess with it. So yeah, move it over here. There we go. Now I can drop it in. So basically, that's all you need to do to graph these. And please use Desmos. It's the easiest calculator to use. If you have questions on this or you still need some more advice on what to do, please let me know, and I'll try to find you some other resources to help you get this done.